Hello and welcome to Josh's Blogs. Today we'll be looking at the nitty-gritty of what goes into making a film. We'll be looking at such things such as storyboards, call sheets, clearance, budgets, risk assessments and scripts. So let's start off. To start, let's have a look at one of these. A script. This is where an idea for a film becomes a reality. If you like, it's a snowflake that starts the avalanche. Firstly, a script is where you write out your ideas and set it out in a logical, chronological order. It includes such things as characters, scenes, acts, and pretty much anything the writer wants to include. A wise man once told me that some of the best films ever made have never made it off script. This is because the script is where the writer has full reign to choose whatever he wants to include in that film. Making it reality is the hard part. Next thing you'll want to consider is a budget. A budget is basically how much money you can create your film with. For people like me, and I assume you if you're watching this vlog, we don't have huge Hollywood budgets. In fact, we don't have any kind of budget. And in a way, this is a good thing, as it shows what you can do by yourself. Having money makes things a lot easier in my opinion. But even the biggest directors, writers and filmmakers will have had to start off from the bottom. Now, just as a little treat, here's a budget sheet. Exciting stuff, right? Now let's roll on. Storyboards. Storyboards are great. They are basically comic strips to describe as a visual aid how the scene is set out. Now here's one I made earlier. Storyboards are important, as it is very difficult to keep everything in your head while making a film. Storyboards are a way of referencing ideas you may have had years ago, and by using them you don't have to fill your brain with how each scene is going to be set out, therefore increasing the amount of brain space. Call sheets. Call sheets are documents basically telling people where they have to be and on what time. It's a great way of organising yourself and your crew. It stops those last minute phone calls just before you're about to start filming, asking why your actors turned up at Aldi instead of Asda. With call sheets, as long as you make it clear where you want people to be and at what time, that takes the responsibility a bit off you and gives you more space to think about how you're going to undertake filming this film that you're doing and not where everyone else is. Now for the really fun part. The bit that every filmmaker can't wait to start making, even more than a film. Risk assessments. That's right, the risk assessment. Now these aren't really required in terms of what I would do making a short student film. However, as you move up in the world of film, they unfortunately become paramount, especially if you're trying to get insured. A risk assessment is basically writing down everything that will be on the set that could be a risk. For example, cords on the camera, lions, water, bears, bees, spiders, venomous spiders, flying elephants, and so on. Next up, clearance. Clearance is basically obtaining permission to film somewhere or something. This also goes for music or clips. A good example of why you need clearance actually happened to me and a few friends when we were trying to film a short film for the Student Film Festival. We'd spent a few weeks scouting out a location and we'd finally all got together and we were going to film. And just as we got our last piece of equipment over the fence, in fact, because we're student filmmakers, I made a little film describing what happened.
Oi! What do you think you're doing?
I'm just making a short film for college. I was going to film here.
You got permission?
No mate.
Well, you're not filming anymore here.
Oh, alright then mate, yeah, sure.
Whoa!
Alright, maybe it went a bit over the top at the end, but you get the picture. If you want to film, you need to get permission, otherwise the owner of the land can just turn around and say no. That's everything really guys. I hope this video will help you in understanding the basics of pre-production. Peace. I got an itchy lip.